Yeah, I'm gonna tell them. I'm gonna tell them that civil war or nah, civil war or nah. Um, they they're not gonna remember I said I was out of the country. Yeah, I said I was out of the country, but they're not gonna remember that. They not. So I'm gonna let's see. I'm gonna I'm gonna hold my gun like this and go like this. Civil war or not? Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Press play. See, y'all stupid. See, I told y'all that this was going to happen. I told y'all that Biden was going to win. So now, civil war or nah? See, y'all stupid. I've been trying to tell y'all, but you don't listen. See, you never listen. Now look. See? Now look. Civil war or nah? Now look. Jamaica, Trinidad, NFAC coming there. Because these people don't listen.
I be that more you gon' remember, be more. I be that more you gon' remember, Nap Town. I be that more you gon' remember, Taharkabey front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember, LA. I be that more you gon' remember, New York. I be that more you gon' remember, Taharkabey front line till the law call my number.
Yes, Lord. Welcome to another edition of Moorish World TV. I am your host, Reverend Taharkabey. Hey, we got to keep it fresh and funky. How y'all been doing, family? Come on now. How you been doing? We got to keep it fresh and funky. What's been going on with y'all? How y'all feeling now? Talk to me. Did y'all? Karen Bell said, keep that mess out of the Caribbean. Hey, that's what he's talking about. Did y'all see this fool sitting up there talking about civil war or nah? Let me tell you how you can smell an agent from a mile away. They begin to shift real fast. You follow me? They begin to shift real fast. Wherever the wind blow, that's where they go. You know what I mean? Wherever the wind blow, that's where it go. So now the news is talking about there could be civil unrest. And now he want to promote that civil unrest. Man, unbelievable, man. We got to, listen, the object of this show is to wake you up, family. That is the object of this show. It's to wake you up, to get you to see foolishness, laugh at it just a little bit, but then understand the gravity and the seriousness of it. You know what I'm saying? Because the seriousness of it is that this guy, he shows every sign that he's on one. Man, this guy's amazingly crazy, man. You know what I mean? Amazingly crazy. He said Jay's still relevant. He really not relevant no more. Trey, Dre's still relevant. He's not relevant no more. We're just making jokes right now. He's not relevant at all anymore. You know what I'm saying? For real. He's really not. If you look, he's trying to hold on by a thin string of what has been done throughout the summer. He is not really relevant no more. He's trying to conjure up another master plan. He can't go in the woods with 5 people no more. You know what I mean? He can't go in the woods with 5 people and fake like he's about to shoot up something. He can't do that no more. You know what I mean? He can't what else? He can't do no marches no more because most people especially in around the country, they already done got word that it's fraudulent. You know what I'm saying? He got a sister out there that says she's being protected by NFAC, but she's standing out there by herself. Anybody see that? Listen, man, I don't want to make fun of these things, man, but it's serious. The sister said she was protected by NFAC, but she's standing out on there by herself. I said, goodness gracious. I said, what type of security she got? This stuff is mad. Look, now listen, and then people got a nerve to inbox me this stuff. The sister said, I'm under guard by NFAC. But you look at the picture, the sister that by herself, I'm like, where's NFAC? Not found around crew or something, I don't know, but she was by herself. Anybody see that? Let me see if I can pull it up real quick while we get situated here. Let me see. Protected. I'm gonna see if it come up. Because it ain't even a big story. I mean, you have to really look for it or somebody. There it is, right here. Here it go, right here. Let me see if I can share it with you. I send y'all the link. Yeah, somebody sent it to me. You know what I mean? And let me show you if I can find the picture. It's sad. She said she protected by NFAC. Look, it's funny. I'm sorry, family. I'm sorry. I hope the Kansas City police. I hope she ain't depending on NFAC to protect her from the Kansas City police. You know what I mean? I really hope not. You know what I mean? I don't mean to make light of this because I know them Europeans, the police, they be acting funny. You know what I mean? And there's a strong chance that this is serious. But I hope she understands that NFAC is not the protection that she want. You know what I mean? No, don't do that, sis. Here she go right here. You know what I mean? Sis right here. And in another picture that she had, you know, she got a lot of attention with this. And another picture that she had, she said that she's protected by the NFAC. And I'm saying to myself, oh, sis, don't make that go right there. And this is the picture. Man, she needs to take a picture. There you go. This is our sister Khadijah Brooks now under NFAC protection. I'm like, somebody need to take a picture with NFAC. Now, I know Grandmaster Jay watching the show. Now he got to say, let me call this sister so we can do a photo op. He got to get a photo op. Why he ain't get a photo op with this? That's right. He's out of the country because he don't know if Trump was going to win or not. So because he don't know whether Trump is going to win or not, he got low. You know what I'm saying? He got low. Matter of fact, let me screenshot it one more time. He wasn't sure if his man was going to win or not. See, y'all think Grandmaster Jay tripping. Grandmaster Jay ain't tripping. Shoot, Grandmaster Jay such an agent. He know all the moves. What make him get out? Don't nobody find that suspicious that he come live and tell you to your face right before the election. I mean, right before the election, I'm out of the country. What? Hold up. And then he go live and say, Civil War or nah. Who cares? You're out of the country, fool. Man, we fall for anything. With that being said, let me bring in my esteemed guest and friend and comrade. Oh. Peace and love, sis. How you doing, sis?
Peace and love, brother Taharkabey. Black power to the black nation. Our power to the Moors. Original people.
I see you got big bro in the back. Peace, my brother.
Peace, Black Power, brother. I heard your shout out yesterday. Black Power, brother.
Man, you know, man, you did something to me when I first heard you speak, and I would love to hear you speak tonight. You know what I'm saying, brother? You really motivate the people. And I'm telling you, you are a reflection of the ancestors who fought for freedom. It is what it is.
Due to the Almighty.
It is what it is. And now, Sister Krystal Muhammad, tonight we got to get into a certain little space. But let me say this: anybody on the show who haven't been privy enough to follow Sister Krystal Muhammad, I think it would be good for you if you haven't. After the show, Google her name. As you know, we meet a lot of our brothers and sisters by interacting through social media, and this is how I met Sister Krystal Muhammad. And every time we're ready to do something, I kind of try to brush up on my history. And I'm gonna tell you this, family. I want everybody thumbs up, but I want to tell you this. It's amazing how I think I'm a solid brother. Ain't nobody that pulled no card on me. You know what I mean? Google me. I'm pretty solid. You know what I'm saying? And I say pretty solid because I might have some explaining to do when I had to put hands on somebody back in 96 or something. I don't know. But I'm pretty solid. But when I look up my Sister Krystal Muhammad, there is not a blemish. There is not a question. And you know, I will ask the question, well, what about this, sis? You have Muhammad on your name, but you was a pastor of the United Methodist Church of the Christians around the corner, sis. You got to explain that. You know, I'm going to ask the question. But as I Google the sister, there is not a blemish, that nothing. I can't ask the question and make her feel uncomfortable because there is no question there. There is none. Real talk, and I'm just not saying this because you're on my show. Y'all know that if somebody come up here with a little questionable behavior, I'm either going to ask the question directly, or I'm a roundabout way say, you don't think that, you know, that you being a pastor of the United Methodist Church around the corner from the Christian is a conflict with your name, Muhammad? You don't think that? I'm going to say something. You know what I mean? But this sister, this is our leader on the front line of liberation as it relates to, as Malcolm would say, the ballot or the bullet.
Well, praise be to Allah, brother. But I'm not gonna say I'm without a blemish. You know, I'm just as flawed as any other person on the earth. But as far as standing on my square for our beautiful nation, for our liberation, you know, myself, I've been given a very strong responsibility. I have been placed in a position to be an honorable position to be the national chair of the new Black Panther Party. I know we working in the poems, as one of the elders told me, of some very great ones. I've been taught very well by some of the best in the Nation of Islam, the National Black United Front, in the streets. My family, you know, reality. So, you know, I'm from down here in the South. You know, you can't. They got that old saying, you can't pee on our leg and tell us it's raining. You know, so you know, black people don't cut no shorts with you. You know, it's like if you go to Apollo, if you can't sing, you're getting booed. You know, that's the way we were brought up. That's the way we live. And we were playing today on our broadcast. Brother Captain Sadiq is our host, our national chief of staff, and he played a clip today from Dr. Amos Wilson. And the whole segment was called The Blueprint for Black Power. It was a 2-hour clip. We want to invite people to go check it out because we use the airways to politicize the people. Whenever we on social media or if we're in the field, be it a protest or interview, or serving the people or fighting for justice. It's all about the hearts and minds of the people, showing the right way of being upright warriors. But what Dr. Amos Wilson spoke on was culture, and that culture has to exist in our mind and in our actions. And culture is a part of our history. It's a part of our DNA that we uphold. And we know certain things as people of African descent, original people, that we go for and don't go for. We don't go for someone being a thief and think they're going to sit around and be thieving around us. We don't go for someone sitting there lying to our face. Hold on. And we know they lying to our face. That make it better or worse. We don't go for somebody lying to our face, and we know they lying to our face. We don't go for working with the police in the Black community. That's just a fact of the matter. If you're a Black Panther or not, if you're a Moor or not, there's certain things that are not a part of our culture. And that goes all the way back before chattel slavery. And most certainly, since we've been here up under the yoke of this European, we sure don't go for riding with the slave catchers, being an overseer, being a house Negro. That's not our culture. And we are certainly not going to allow individuals, opportunists. I don't give a darn how good they talk, how much money they flashing. We're not going to allow this movement of Black liberation, the cause and fight for justice, to be hijacked by some Johnny-come-lately, hand-picked, morally bankrupt, working with the police, snitch Negroes. Please believe.
So let's start from the beginning. So, sis, what I want to start from now is I want to talk about to clear up some of the confusion as to what is and who represents the new Black Panther Party. Let's talk about when the Black Panther Party, the new Black Panther Party, was started. Where did that happen? When and who initiated the new Black Panther Party?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The new Black Panther Party was founded in 1989.
I don't mean to cut your wisdom, but if I put you on the full screen, just keep on talking. Because some people be thinking that I'll be going out of something happened, but ain't nothing happened.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The new Black Panther Party was started in 1989 in Dallas, Texas, at the peak of the crack pandemic being flooded into the Black communities. That was also coincidentally the same year that Brother Huey P. Newton died by conspicuous circumstances. There's been many stories in California. The new Black Panther Party was started after about 20 years of a void, of an absence of the original formations of the Black Panther parties that preceded it, which had been under major attack by the United States government. There were political prisoners then and now who were kidnapped and placed into the concentration camps, which we call prisons, or so-called prisons here in America, which we properly call concentration camps. There were Black Panthers in the previous formations that were murdered by the United States government, and particularly at the hands of the police, by the state. There are Black Panthers who had to go underground. Some are in Africa. Some had to go underground here. We do know that even one of our great Black Panthers Asada Shakur escaped. She was liberated by freedom fighters of the Black Liberation Movement and was sought asylum in Cuba, where she currently is. This is the deep-rooted culture of freedom fighting that exists in our movement. We have had El Haj Malik Shabazz, who was assassinated by the United States government through their FBI, CIA, and local police mechanisms. Martin Luther King, civil rights leader, was assassinated by the United States government in coercion, working side by side with the police and other collaborators. Medgar Evers, you name it. During the freedom fighting episodes from 1865 up until today, it has always been the freedom fighters versus the police and the state, because the police are the hired guns of the state. Those wealthy families who are responsible for chattel slavery, who are responsible for Jim Crow, who are responsible for the economic, social injustice that we live under right now, use the police as they bully boys. So no way would the culture of Black liberation or freedom fighting end. We have been freedom fighters since our existence. So when the original formations, or we call the OG formations of the Black Panther Party, had been absent for almost 2 decades, in 1989, Brother Aaron Michaels, along with Captain David Foreman, and several, it was a group, met in Dallas, Texas, and they resurrected the Black Panther Party. Well, there were a few OG Black Panthers who caused objection to them coming back out and just saying Black Panther Party. So Brother David Foreman, Brother Aaron Michaels, as was told to us directly by them, went down to the Dallas court district clerk's office and changed it from Black Panther Party to New Black Panther Party. They're about the rise of the New Black Panther Party here in the United States of America. Okay, this was in 1989. So Brother Aaron Michaels and the brothers in Dallas worked for a few years of bringing about the structure of the New Black Panther Party. Our manual and several operations, their first work was to go in and shut down drug houses, shut down crack houses in Dallas. It started out as a local group of brothers and sisters who wanted to take community control, just as the Black Panthers did in the 60s. They took community control. I'm from New Orleans. Our Panthers in New Orleans taught us about how in the 60s they went into the Desire Project and got rid of the drugs, made it a safe place for people to be. And because of that, the police came and attacked the Desire Project twice. The first time they came, the people protected the Panthers because the Panthers had been there serving the needs of the people. The second time the police came, they disguised themselves in priest robes on so-called Thanksgiving and went in and started attacking the brothers and sisters in New Orleans. This history of resistance and our enemy being the police in the Black Panther movement has been going on since forever, since there's been resistance. We must understand that the police are the slave catchers. And this lynchings of our people that we are seeing taking place by the police, although they're by bullet these days, is no different than the lynching by a rope. It's no different than a lynching where they beat you to death. And the perpetrators have been people of so-called European descent and they're house Negroes, they're coons who have sold out our great ancestors like Nat Turner, Dean Mark Basie, you name it. This culture of resistance has been going on since we have been under this siege of these so-called Europeans here on our land, because we are the indigenous here, we know this. But anyway, the new Black Panther Party was started in '89, fighting against the crack epidemic, cleaning up the community, doing armed patrols of the community. A few years later, when Dr. Khalid Muhammad was a victim of an assassination attempt, he was brought to Dallas, Texas, to be protected by the Panthers in Dallas. Brother Aaron Michael, Brother David Foreman, Brother Ward Williams. And at this time, he was no longer under the Nation of Islam due to the situation, the fallout, the politics that fell out when Dr. Khalid was the supreme commander, supreme captain, and national spokesman in the Nation of Islam. So Dr. Khalid met with the brothers in Dallas. At the time, the Dallas brothers were a local group doing strong work. They needed a national platform. And Dr. Khalid was a brother with a national audience that needed a group to be able to continue his great work. And so Dr. Khalid, by him already having the hearts and minds of the people for his work in the nation, once he put on this button right here and was assigned the national chairman by the brothers in Dallas, the Dallas brothers had to appoint Dr. Khalid because that was the founding chapter. And when Dr. Khalid, which we believe he was poisoned, in our investigation, as we are finding out, when Dr. Khalid transitioned in Atlanta, Georgia, Captain David Foreman, who was the Minister of Defense at the time, said that Malik Shabazz, Cornell X, a few of them were in there arguing about who was going to be the chairman. And Captain David Foreman said, the man's body ain't even cold. Ain't none of y'all going to be the chairman. So Captain David left the hospital and went back to Dallas, Texas. The party went without a chair for 1 year. But the party is designed with our chair people, locally, regionally, and nationally, our Ministry of Defense, our other mechanisms to keep going even without a chair. And that was our first test in this formation. When Captain David Foreman explained to us that a year later, Malik came down to Dallas and asked to take the position. He was granted the post of national chair in Dallas 1 year after Dr. Khalid passed away. I think that was in 2000, I mean. Well, so around that same time in 2000, I had been working for a number of years with the Gary Graham Justice Coalition. We were fighting down here in Texas against the death penalty. From 93 until 2000, starting off local, then it became national, then international. We were able to stop, at the time his name was Gary Graham, he later changed his name to Shaka Sankofa. We were able to power the people to stop him from being executed 5 times until George Bush became our governor use Gary Graham as a stepping stone to become president. Being tough on the niggas is what George Bush issue was. Once again, the state, our open enemies. We witnessed at this execution, we saw so many people come out. He had previously gotten a stay by Clinton. This is how myself and some of my colleagues started off doing grassroots freedom fighting work. So my work was already known in the community down here in the South. We fought for justice for Mumia, and we still do. Mumia Abu Jamal, who is a political prisoner who needs to be released. We fight for the freedom of all our political prisoners held in North America for doing exactly what we are doing now. Fighting against injustice. Showing other brothers and sisters courage, strength, character, the culture of the true original people, the Black people, the people of Africa. Our history is so profound. We're not gonna let nobody smudge it. That's what these Negroes don't get. They can try. You know, some of these Negroes gonna go down like Ron O'Neal. We know who our enemies are. Those who have betrayed our people. But anyway, in 2002, as I spoke before on a previous broadcast, I met the brothers of the new Black Panther Party, most from Dallas, a few were from Atlanta, but mostly from Dallas. Brother Malik and them, I met them at the Reparations Conference at the Shrine of the Black Madonna. I was recruited by Malik Zulu Shabazz. I was sent directly to Dallas, Texas, for training. Because Houston, Dallas was only 3 hours away. I had the privilege of being up under these brothers and sisters. And because I was working in Houston and New Orleans, I was given the opportunity by the new Black Panther Party to work the Southern region. And we have a very powerful regional team. The new Black Panther Party is not about any individuals, although we have individuals for accountability. We are as great as we are because we work in teams. You need to know who it is that's accountable, what mechanism is responsible. And when all these mechanisms are working incorrectly, this is a force. And we use this force. We are not funded by the government. We are self-funded. It was designed that way. We don't take money from white folks. If we do, for instance, there's been a couple of opportunities to document the work that we've been doing. And when some of these people have asked us about following us around and finding out what we're doing in 2017, just like now, I've done, since I've been the chair, I did an interview for Russian TV on the RT. I've done, I'm talking about national chair. I've done this broadcast right here. And we allowed the international film crew to film us in 2017, but we made them pay us to follow us around. And we limited what we would allow them to do. And we were strictly limited to them documenting these lynchings that were going on in Mississippi that we were dealing with. Documenting the police brutality that we were dealing with in Louisiana and in Texas. Because we know they were going to take that footage and make some money off of it. We wasn't going to be no foolish slaves and let them get good international historical footage. And we came together on that decision as a national central committee. It's check and balance. If something happens to Sister Krystal, boom. What you gonna do, brother? Catch it?
Cover down, hold the line and cover down.
If something happened to Brother Catcher, the next Panther knows what to do. The next Panther knows what to do. If there's a dissension like what's going on right now, Malik and them didn't stop us from doing nothing when we had our split.
So let me go back. Let's go back before we get to that. So during the Dr. Khalid Muhammad tenure, were you there? Were you a part of the Panther at that time, or did you join after?
I joined after Dr. Khalid transition. Okay. I was under Dr. Khalid. The only time that I was had the privilege of being under Dr. Khalid was when I was in the Nation of Islam.
Okay.
And I joined the Nation of Islam officially in 1997, although I had been attending the mosque since 91.
Okay. So let me ask you this about the structure, whatever you could tell us. So Dr. Khalid Muhammad, he was appointed, because we use the appointment process in the Moorish Science Tip of America also. So he was appointed, but do y'all also have like a voting process that takes place in order for those may ascend to positions such as yourself?
Okay. Dr. Khalid was appointed by Brother Aaron Michaels, who was the chair at the time, because these were the founders. Yeah. Aaron Michaels switched and went from being Minister of Defense. I'm sorry, from being the chairman to being Minister of Defense. Okay. And he gave Dr. Khalid this position. This is in the beginning, right, of the new Black Panther Party in its first 10 years. I guess it would say it was like a teenager then.
Yeah, in its infancy.
And then in its infancy, for so to speak. So when Dr. Khalid came in, you know, unfortunately, the case in James Berg took place when James Berg was drugged to death in Jasper, Texas, another lynching. And Dr. Khalid and the brothers from Dallas went down to Jasper, Texas with them guns. That's when Roland Martin got his mark, you know, and that took that maneuver right there, took the new Black Panther Party to a national stage when they had the armed demonstration in Jasper, Texas for James Berg. So when I'm giving you the history of the new Black Panther Party, its foundation in Dallas. Now, what happened when Dr. Khalid passed, this is something Dr. Khalid passed in the hospital, so he didn't get to appoint his replacement. The post was open, so the mechanism that was still in place was the Ministry of Defense. All the other National Central Committee was still in place. So when the brother transitioned, Malik was put into position as chair after a year after coming down to Dallas, asking for that position. This is how powerful our foundation is and how it's structured. Even though Dr. Khalid passed, in fact, it was a sister named Malika Muhammad who Dr. Khalid had appointed as his chief of staff. Brother Cornell X was the national spokesman at that time. And Brother Malik was the National Minister of Justice when Dr. Khalid passed. So we have rank structure in this organization. So when Dr. Khalid passed, the highest ranking officers at the time was the Ministry of Defense and the other Central Committee members. So Malik came down to Dallas to be appointed. He was appointed. I was appointed, brought into the party. I was sent down to Dallas. And for 10 years, we worked across the country doing freedom fighting work. The foot soldiers, the foot soldiers, those who would hit the trenches, those who were the strongest mobilizers in our organization, came from some of the same states and cities that are still doing the work right now. We had a very strong chapter in Dallas, Houston, New Orleans. We had very strong chapters in New Jersey, New York, Chicago. So it was but it was majority the southern states, Atlanta, Georgia, the southern states, and the East Coast region. As Dr. Carter at the time was building the party, you know, we would have, you know, smaller chapters around the country, but for the most part, the chapters that were putting in the work was the Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, New Jersey, New York squads. And not give, you know, there was some work going on out of DC political. There was we always upheld the manual, and there were a few incidences, a few internal things that went on within the party that we would always address inside the organizations. If there was conflict, we would address our conflict internally within the organization. But unfortunately, very oddly, in 2013, it was October. In 2013, this was right after Malik called for this million youth march in New York that didn't go as hot as he wanted it to go. He started putting out a lot of disgruntled statements about comparing the party to the nation and this and that. And a lot of internal stuff was going on. We was dealing with that internal. So when the brother convened all of us, at the time I was the Southern Regional representative in charge of the states of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas, Oklahoma. But I was also the chair of Houston. When Brother Shabazz decided he wanted to quit, once again, they would send me to do the dirty work. I talked to the brother, and I tried to convince him, number one, not to quit. But he was insistent upon quitting, and he wanted us to convene this call with all the officers, and we convened the call. And on this call, he went over all of the problems that he had with his current Central Committee and why he was quitting, and that, you know, he was quitting and that we needed to revamp the structure of the party. This was what Malik brought to the table. That he was quitting, that he disbanded his Central Committee on this call. He talked about Hashim, how he was a good man but not quite honest. He talked about DK. He went down the line, talked about Samir. He talked about all kind of issues with the Central Committee that he appointed. As the national chair, when I became chair, I appointed Brother Catcher. We had never had to have an election before. But because Malik abandoned his post, that was one of the 12 general orders. That still is one of our 12 general orders. Do not abandon your post unless you are properly relieved. I told Malik, you cannot quit. You saying you disbanded the party. He called for a national election because he was so disgruntled with the Central Committee, his national Central Committee. I was a regional officer at the time, a local chair. This is to his doing. So arrogant. He called for the setting down of and we can bring all of the Central Committee that was present, and this should be documented, and it is being documented right now. But I'm saying we've been going about our business. See, when we was, remember, 89 was the party was started. I came in 2002. We didn't have this platform right here. We've been going about our business doing the work of Black liberation. But see, certain things have transpired. Brother Shabazz quit on the radio, on a conference call. I even asked him, I said, well, brother, he said he was resigning. He disbanded his board, and we need to elect our new Central Committee. This is around the time that we were getting ready to have our national summit. I even told him, then I said, well, brother, since we're going to have the national summit, Why quit? Why don't you just wait to the summit and name your replacement then? He refused. He started talking something about how the FBI had visited him, and he was finna just start focusing on being a lawyer and starting Black Lawyers for Justice. And it was strange because he'd been a lawyer. The party didn't stop him from being a lawyer. In fact, when you came to Brother David to be the chair, that was one of the things that you spoke on. Malik called for the election. Let's be clear. He quit his post. He said, I don't want it to be said that I quit. I want it to be said that I served my tenure. But in our book, it's called abandoning your post without being properly relieved. So we move forward with the summit. We move forward with the summit. Then Malik, after he had already quit, so he don't have no juice, you quit and disbanded your party. His officers at the time did not say, oh, no, because they were on the call. They didn't say, no, you can't do this. That Central Committee agreed with moving forward with the summit, with the election. And then, I don't know what happened. I know particular, I was lobbying for Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. to be the chair of the new Black Panther Party. And up until the week before the summit, he was considering that, and he pulled back. He was considering that, and then he pulled back. Listen, we could bring all of these brothers and sisters to come on who are part of this. Bring Malik on. Bring our Central Committee on. The officers who are our officers then are still a part. A good vast majority are still a part. Our field marshal was the local chairman in Newark. Even Ken Samir, Brother Divine, go ask anybody, Brother Baba Zaid in Newark, Sister Khadijah. What happened when Malik, he quit, he disbanded his post. We were calling for a summit. We called the summit, and just to be it was set up in Atlanta, Georgia, where Hashim and all them could all be there, because we would normally do it in Atlanta or Dallas, where we would do the summit, because Atlanta was is in the center of the country, and those of us who are coming from the east, from the north or the south, within 12 hours we could be in Atlanta. Otherwise, they would have to take 30 hours coming from New York to Texas, or we would take 30 hours from Texas going to New York. And Malik called a radio show, hosted a radio show to call off the election. But he had already quit. So he had no juice. On a public radio, when I heard he was going to do that, I told him, you cannot do that. Why don't you, again, we're having the summit. Why don't you come to the summit and not put our business before the public? He got on a radio broadcast and said he was calling off the elections, that he declared martial law on the party, and that the elections were off. The elections that he called for, because he quit and disbanded the Central Committee that he put in place. And on his radio broadcast, which he had no juice because he'd already abandoned his post, he said that Hashim would be the chair and run the party to perpetuity. And of course, the brothers and sisters in the party did not go for that. If you think we go around the country spending our own dollars, eating hamburgers and chicken, and sharing a bucket of chicken just to go battle these crackers? You think we're going to allow some coon to declare martial law on us? So we ignored that the martial law. We sent him a declaration of freedom signed out by all of the chairs, regional officers, and national officers, David Foreman. And we told him we would not accept martial law, that we were moving forward and having our summit. And that would be the place to deal with it. He went on and did the radio broadcast anyway. After being, first he was sent a demand to not do the broadcast when you heard what he was plotting. Then he did it anyway. We sent out a declaration of freedom that we would not accept martial law. This is a historical document. This is an actual fact. We moved forward with the summit. I had no idea that I would be recommended to be chair, to be quite honest. I was pushing for Brother David Foreman. I'm sorry, for Brother Fred Hampton to be the chair. He pulled out on us. So we went into that summit not knowing what was going to happen in Atlanta, Georgia. We met at the Castleberry, invited other community people, but it was the rank and file people who not only laid out this structure. What is it?
Oh, don't worry about that, sis.
It's all good. I seen Tupac. I couldn't help but stop. But anyway,
I just posted a little comment. Somebody say, new Black Panther Party under Krystal Muhammad, number point scene money laws. I don't know what it means, but
okay. So moving forward, Brother Taharkabey, I was nominated by Captain David Foreman at the summit in Atlanta. And the other comrades, and I was like, me, I'm a sister. I was automatically, even in my mind, thinking that it was going to be a brother. And because of the work that I had already been doing over the years, because I was the Southern Regional Rep and we were doing work, we did the search and rescue for Katrina. We went into New Orleans. We were doing we started the Black Cross, sending supplies to Haiti after the earthquake hit. We were dealing with so many police brutality cases. All we were doing is grinding, doing what we do best. And when this whole thing of Malik quitting and calling for a national election, that it came out of nowhere, but we held our ground.
So preceding that election, after that election, what took place? Did, as you said, you and the new Black Panther Party continue to carry on the work that y'all was doing? Like, it is what it is. We're gonna keep pushing, doing the work. When did you realize that, hold up, here's another establishment going by the new Black Panther Party? Did that happen immediately, or did it take a little time?
No, it was immediately. Like I said, we had our national summit. Not only myself, I was appointed chair. Several of our other several of our other chapters had their local representatives there, and they appointed and nominated, then elected other officers of the Central Committee that came up at that time. And some posts were not open, were not elected, and those posts wound up getting appointed. This was an unprecedented occurrence because, again, the brother quit. So Hashim, he quit, and then he tried to backtrack it on the radio show. This is very key. He quit, disbanded his Central Committee, called for an election, then came on the radio blog talk broadcast. We have the audio copy of this broadcast, and says that he declared martial law, canceled the election, and then try to appoint Brother Hashim and other brothers and sisters. We move forward with the summit. This has never happened before. You declared martial law. We didn't go for that. So we moved forward. This was literally 30 days before the summit. If I'm not mistaken, it was October the 9th when he quit. And October the 16th when he did this broadcast. Our summit was Thanksgiving, so-called Thanksgiving weekend. So when we had our summit, we invited them to come together, for us to deal with this internally. But there began the split of the new Black Panther Party. That's when the two formations of one family being split into two took place. And we talked about this. We had, so Hashim formation was doing what they were doing, and we, under our central committee, we continued to do the work that we were doing. And it was said even back then that we needed to go squash them and do this and that. And we was like, no, we're not going to do this, because this happened before in the Black Panther Party. In the 1960s, there was a split between the East Coast and the West Coast Panthers. But nobody came in and, but there was a beef that could have led to bloodshed. And some say some incidences back then, because of that split, caused for some things that we're not going to talk about on the air. We didn't want to repeat history. It was understood that they were doing their work and we were doing our work. This is the facts. We continue to doing what we're doing today. When in 2016, we ran into Malik in Africa, in South Africa. Brother Krystal was hosting the Pan-African Convention. And we met with the members of the PAC in South Africa. And other freedom fighters came in from across Africa. And we were there to represent here in America. That was my first time seeing Malik. Our first time seeing each other after 3 years when the split happened. And we talked then about bringing the party back together. I'm not going to do what they have tried to do with us. They have done some things that have been reported to us as being unethical. So we would call and let them know about the unethical behavior to correct it. We have brought up issues and checked it, like when that formation beat up the OG Panther brother Daruba in Atlanta. We spoke out directly, put it in writing, because it was unjust. We have continued to do our work as freedom fighters, and that's that. And our work stands for itself. Look at the work we've been look at the case we've been dealing with. Chad Holly in Houston. We were on the ground in Ferguson. We were on the ground in Baltimore. We were on the ground. See, when the Trayvon Martin happened, we were still all one. See, we've been banging. We've been the riders. That's what I'm saying. The southern region, these certain states, we've been the riders because we can carry guns. They couldn't carry guns on the East Coast. That's why they counted on us in the southern region. Because when we came in, we can bring our choppers in. You know you can't carry no chopper up there on the East Coast like we can do down here in the South. We was the footworks and are the backbone. The foundation and the backbone, and we still are. And we kept doing the work. We didn't have this social media platform to go address what was going on. Only thing we would have had then was white man's media and black folks media, and black folks media knew. The Final Call has wrote plenty of articles and calls on us when it's the time to speak about issues. And I wanted to be clear and be factual that there's been some false narratives being put out that somehow we are illegitimate because we didn't file for some politician who came to Dallas to get appointed, just like Captain David did. I mean, Dr. Khaled did. You quit. We didn't. That's what I'm pointing. That's the point. Nobody said, Malik, you gotta go. Although he had made countless errors, we feel, and addressed. He quit. So whatever narrative he's been having his people put out, and then, Brother Hashim, that formation was doing what they were doing. We were doing what they would do. A few times, once again, they would take footage of work we were doing and act like it was them. Alfred Wright, we surrounded the sheriff department in Hemp Hill, Texas with guns when they lynched Alfred Wright out of Jasper, Texas. This is separate from the Otisburg. I sent you some of these videos. We surrounded the whole town with guns. Rest in peace. Brother Hashim went on Roland Martin showing that footage, but it was us. It was even me talking. This is the kind of stuff, and I called Hashim, checked that, called Roland Martin. They had to take it down.
So let me run it back so people can understand. So all the work that you were putting in, it was being brought across to the public as if it was done under the leadership of Hashim, but in fact it was under your leadership.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I remember seeing that interview also too, and this is what confused the public because the public had the impression that the new Black Panther Party was all one. And that's the thing. Wherever you seen the patch, it was a given that that's the new Black Panther Party.
Yes. And Brother Taharkabey, that was the new Black Panther Party. That is the new Black Panther Party. But that was that formation. And we have our.
I want to be clear though. When I say that was the new Black Panther Party, that wasn't a new Black Panther Party that was putting in the work that was represented on Roland Martin. So
correct.
What I'm saying is that's the confusion. I think at some point in time we have to make the dividing line so we can know who's who and what's what. Because from this day forward, now people understand. Okay, there is, as the word like Delta would use, different regimes. They're different regimes. But
that's
so
right.
now we don't know.
That's just like this. That's just like now. Do you know that in the 60s there was a East Coast arm of the party that did not follow the political ideology of Huey and the Panthers on the West Coast, but they were still Panthers. See, because Huey and them were dealing more interracial and dealing with the Europeans. And the brothers and sisters on the East Coast were Black nationalists, Pan-Africans. But they were still Panthers. See, they were still Panthers. See, you have brother, this is the way the party.
I want to say this, and I'm gonna leave it alone because I don't want to inflame this. But what I'm saying is that if the brother say hypothetically, and I don't have a problem with Brother Malik at all, but just to be clear, if Malik says I quit, do you know what I mean, and then resurface and says I'm the new Black Panther and Hashim is in charge, after you say you abandon your post, we can't have it both ways.
Exactly. Correct.
We can't have it both ways. So to try, I mean, I don't want to inflame it, but just for clarity, if he quit, you come back and say I'm the new Black Panther.
Right.
You can't be that, even though you may call yourself that.
Right. Right. And this is why I have to bring up this point about the 60s, because this happened again. This is what happened. And if people know, there were Panthers allegedly beefing real deep with one another in the 60s. Over these ideologies, over this split. There were even people who lost their lives and got framed, and they said one side did it, who knows? When this split happened, just like you said, there were those of us who said we need to go just shut them boys down because they operating bootleg. And then there were times when we said, well, we need to pull this thing together. So we're not gonna tell no lies and claim no easy victories. That was a time period we were contemplating and they beat up the Ruba.
You broke up a little bit. You said there was a time that
we can't. I'm saying the formations, we're talking about the two different formations. We were talking about, there was communication about bringing both of the different fractions together. And then there was the incident when the Ruba got jumped on. There was a couple other incidences. And there were brothers and sisters said, no, it's no way that we can align with these unethical people. So there's been fractionalism going on. Yes, we've been doing the work. And that's just that. Now, most recently, Hashim transition. Malik is not even an officer in the new Black Panther Party. Another criminal activity. You can't go to the funeral of an officer and appoint yourself chair. It's a continuation of unethical, non-Panther, unofficial, bootleg operation. You held no post. For 7 years, from 2013 until 2000. And at Hashim's funeral, you come and self-appoint yourself? And the people up under you, up under that regime, that operation, that formation, says or does nothing, I guarantee you, my Central Committee wouldn't have went for that bullshit. Because we've been official like a referee whistle. We have order and structure. But, Brother Taharkabey, this is just what it is, you know what I'm saying? And how that's going to be resolved, short of duking it out, it's really, we've had other bootleg operations try to pop up and say they're official. They take the new Black Panther Party logo and put another name on top of it. And another group come and take the logo out and put, it's been split after split after split after split since then. Started by Malik. But we are often imitated, never duplicated. We the ones in the trenches doing the work. And there was a problem with what we were saying. If we were not telling the truth, if what I'm saying is not a fact, like I said last night, Malik Zulu Shabazz can come on here and catch this other space right here. And we can bring on other people to address this. It's a fact. So the show goes on. Because that at the end of the day, they're black devils.
And let me say this: we do have a brother in the chat who has some disagreements, and I'm telling him in the chat, I'm like, brother, you can come on, you can call in, you can ask questions, but he's saying nah. And so I just want to say to my brother and my friend Cryptonomics that, brother, that if you are interested in asking questions, we not on no ignorant stuff, we on history, we on proven factual history, and the sister has been proven credible. The sister can be cross-referenced. And if anybody disagree, the sister already said that she is open for the conversation. But I would prefer if we can finish the interview first. And I would prefer that you be very professional, respectful, and gentlemanlike, and just ask the question, and let's not get into no foolishness nonsense, because it seems like you have some issues with some of the narratives that she's demonstrating, but nevertheless, you're welcome to ask the question. And that's one thing I like about sis. She like me. Come on, ask me what you want. Ask me what you want. Let's talk about it. And so, Crip, after we get through, we got another about 10 minutes talk about this, and we're going to talk about we're going to grab a few minutes and talk about some of the situations that they are dealing with as it relates to crimes against our people that is not being reported. And then you can call in, brother. Back to you, sis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you have any more questions about that, or you want to talk about the cases?
Somebody asked, they said, is the Southern region under your leadership, or are they under another leadership? The Southern region.
We are a national formation. I mean, whoever's asked, look, this organization, we have multiple regions. We have the Southern region, Southeast region, Northeast region, Western region.
I think the question is the Southeast region, have they ever broke up, or are they still under your leadership?
The whole, what are you talking about? The whole, we are a national formation.
Right.
We are a national formation. So we have all our regions within our national formation: East, West, Southern, Southeast, Midwest.
So, let me see if I can get some clarity. What I think the question is, if there's a Southern regional formation called the Black Panthers, is it yours, or is it another group there calling themselves Southern Region? Something like that.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, it's a few bootleg operations that came around. We got some people calling themselves the People's New Black Panther Party. We got some people calling themselves the Southern Regional New Black Panther Party. It's been split after split. And let me explain this. Because we have laws, we have rules and regulations, we have ethics, we have code of conduct. And if you violate those, you come before the Central Committee and you're allowed to have a hearing. Now, most of these people who have started these bootleg operations, they were stripped, they were sanctioned, they were penalized for violations. And instead of accepting their violations, because hell, I've been written up before, I take my write up and I come back in. But some of these people became disgruntled and went and started their own operation. And that's just a fact. I mean, but again, let me give an example. The Nation of Islam. There are several branches of the Nation of Islam. You have the group that's under Silas. You had a group that was under Solomon. And no one can deny the fact that the Nation of Islam, the group under the Honorable Minister Ulus Farrakhan, is the most noted, the most recognized formation or Nation of Islam that's there, but they all call themselves Nation of Islam. It's just plain and simple. You got people that call themselves the New African Panthers. You got people who are calling themselves Revolutionary Black Panthers. We have Black Riders. So what we have done is we have made an alliance with many of these organizations. Let me be clear. We have made alliances with the Black Riders. That is a Panther formation. General Taco them. We made alliances with the Revolutionary Black Panther Party. That is a formation. Brother Ali Muhammad. We made alliances with the People's Panther Party. Brother War Williams and Brother Younger. These are formations. And so the new Black Panther Party has been responsible for maybe, how should I say, where other formations have been spearheaded. And in the spirit of solidarity, we work with many of these groups and do work with many of these groups. But there are other, it's just a fact, brother. You know, and any formation that we see in the field, we have come together on many an issue. This is why it wasn't a big deal for us to go down to Louisville to check out and see about working with NFAC. Because this is what I'm saying. If we're put it like this, if we're dealing with, like, say, a Trayvon Martin situation or a Mike Brown situation, and we go down to, this really happened, we go down to Ferguson, and we see brothers in Malik, at the time, Hashim's formation, and brothers in our formation, brothers and sisters. We don't come down there, you with that formation, you with that formation. No, we ride as one against the enemy. And this is how we have been operating. And sometimes we are told most of the time, many times they come to us to complain about things that had not been going right within their formations. And we would give them instruction on, go in your manual. We have rules. We didn't just say, oh, you with Hashim them, we're not gonna give you no direction. We've even worked on operations doing humanitarian work. And we ran into some of these other formations. We didn't say, oh, because you with that formation, we don't want your water to give to the people. We don't want you to help us pull these people out the water. We don't operate like that. You know what I'm saying? That's just not our culture. That's not our way. I'm just gonna be 100. If it was a kumbaya scenario, but it's not a kumbaya scenario. So we have done our best to operate with integrity and to continue our ultimate mission of Black liberation. We are revolutionaries. We're Pan-Africanists. We're Black nationalists. And as it says in our manual, we're scientists. We know that COINTELPRO is still in effect. So I don't have any problem asking any questions or addressing anything if we're gonna, continue this part. But I do want to talk about cases.
Indeed. So what I'm gonna do is, while we're on this part right here, I'm gonna just share the link with Crypto real quick, and we'll dedicate maybe 5 minutes, so we can wrap this part up, and then we're gonna talk about that. So Crypto, I just put the link in there. I put it in there a couple times, and you don't have to turn your camera on if you don't want to, but we'll deal with this real fast. Like I said, just be respectful. One thing about me, I think that we should always be able to ask questions, and we should be able to get some answers. So with that being said, Crypto, you was going in. The only reason I'm doing this because I seen the whole chat was back and forth with Crypto, back and forth with Crypto, back and forth with Crypto. And so Cryptonomics in the chat, I put the link in there. And as I wait, I just want to say this real quick, family. On Saturday, we are going to be talking about buying the block. I'm going to take my Saturday. I'm going to show you real estate online, real estate in Baltimore for pennies on the dollar. I can show you how you could take something and you can turn it into something major. We're also going to put our investment team together, and I'm telling you, anybody is welcome. The first stage is it's going to be a sign-up form, and we all going to get together. We got attorneys, We're going to have attorneys on standby. And I'm telling you, this ain't going to be no fugazi. I don't want to use Brother Umar Johnson as an example, but I got to. This is not hit the Cash App. This is not hit the GoFundMe. This is not that. What this is going to be is going to be fully structured. I'm going to play the role as the go-to guy. In other words, the go-to guy as it relates to showing the properties, showing what they worth, showing the potential of what they could be worth. That's going to be my job. My job is not going to be handling all the administrative work. We got people for that. So this is not going to be, again, no fugazi stuff. Hit the Cash App. No, you can hit the Cash App now and contribute to the work that the new Black Panther Party do, contribute to the work that I do, traveling around the country. In a minute, she's going to be talking about where they go to address situations of injustice perpetrated against our people. That costs money. That costs money. Again, that costs money. So don't hit us with the Umar. We're not saying hit the Cash App so we can do some funny stuff. This work is being put in every day, all day. Even right now, we probably got things to do tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. But we up here talking to you. So tomorrow, I might have to sleep in. That's an hour from the work that I can put in to feed my family. So if you do hit the Cash App, we definitely appreciate it. If you don't, we ask that you share this so we can get the information out. You know, we can get the information out of who is putting in the work, who is taking the concepts of the work and claiming to be their own, and what's real and what's not. Simple as that. That's just what it is. But we're going to move on right now. And I see Cryptonomics. He haven't made a comment in a few minutes. He haven't hit the link. So we'll move on from there. Sister Krystal Muhammad, I definitely appreciate that. And family, this is now on the record as the Moors that like to talk law on YouTube. They said, put it on the record and for the record. So here go Cryptonomics. He just came in. So let's take 5 minutes real quick and let's see what Cryptonomics had to say about this. Welcome to the show, brother Cryptonomics. How you doing, bro?
What's up, brother? Can you hear me?
I'm good, bro. I'm good, bro. So let's run down the first, introduce yourself first, and then let's run down the first information that you may find that you don't agree with.
Hold on, bro. Can you repeat that again? Because I was getting some feedback on my side.
I say introduce yourself. You know, let me thank my brother Menujan for the support that he support for the channel. Just in the Cash App.
Right.
Thank you, my brother, for all your support. But with that being said, Cryptonomics, I say introduce yourself and lay out the most important thing that you may have a problem with. You know what I'm saying? And let's not drag it out, but so we can move on to the next segment. But the floor is yours, brother.
All right, most deaf. And I appreciate you having this stream, brother. This is to Krystal Muhammad. I just want to make sure I got a couple of things right. You said that you served under Khalid while he was in the NOI, right?
I said when I was in the nation, Brother Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad was our supreme captain, and at one point he was our national spokesman. Correct.
In the NOI, okay. All right. The reason I was asking that was because it's my understanding that Malik and Hashim served under Khalid while he was in the new Black Panther Party, not the NOI.
Well, actually, that's not true. Brother Malik was under Dr. Khalid while he was in the Panther Party as the Minister of Justice. Hashim was never in the party when Dr. Khalid was in the party. Hashim came after Dr. Khalid transitioned.
Okay.
And when Dr. Khalid transitioned, when Dr. Khalid was in the party, I was still in the nation. I didn't come into the party until 2002. 2 years after Dr. Khalid transitioned.
Okay. And the other part I want to know is you weren't referring to the bootleg formations earlier. It's Hashim's group, were you? Well, I was getting a little confused on that when you said some bootleg formations.
What I said very clearly was that Hashim's formation and our formation were once one formation. And since we had a split in the new Black Panther Party. So there was Hashim's formation and our formation. I said since then, there have been other groups that have started that are not the new Black Panther Party, that have used our likeness and image.
Well, yeah, I'm specifically talking about the word bootleg. You said there were bootleg formations out there, and you weren't referring to your own.
You said I wasn't referring to my own. Of course, I wouldn't call myself bootleg or our formation bootleg.
Exactly, but why would you call other Pan-Africans bootleg? It doesn't matter if they use it.
It's just like this: if you have a organization that has a origination, that has an original story, just like if you have a McDonald's and you go and start McDonald's, it's the same thing. We have a Black Panther, but you take our logo and put another logo on top of it, as if you're going on our reputation and the work that we're doing and deceiving the people. I'm talking about youthful gazing.
So you're not talking about Hashim's formation then?
Are you?
Because that's where I was getting confused, sister. Is you was talking a lot about Malik and a lot about Hashim, and you threw bootleg in there at the same time. So I'm just trying to make the clarification. You weren't referring to them.
You're being deceptive because I didn't say that, and I've answered that question.
Let me ask this.
I was very clear. I said there were people who have been in this formation of the Black Panther Party who have been reprimanded and went and started their own group. And I would say that officially, the formation that Hashim and Malik were operating was not the formation, was operating out of an illegal act that took place against the party when martial law was declared. That's
so were they bootleg then?
No, it's a difference, brother. You don't know there's a difference?
Well, you're not answering the question. You're not answering the question, sister.
Let me give you an example.
I'm asking. No, I don't need an example. I'm asking you a specific question. It's very easy. Yes or no. It's really a yes or no answer.
I already answered that question.
Hey, brother, Cryptonomics. Let me say this. Cryptonomics. Do you believe that there is possibly can be two legitimate official organizations from the inception of the first organization? Do you believe both of them could be legitimate?
I believe that the work that they do is legitimate. That's really what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about no brand names. I'm not talking about that. She turned that into that.
Hold up, brother. Hold up. We're not talking about the work. I'm asking, could one, we're talking about the brand, we're talking about the logo, we're talking about the patches, we're talking about all of that, the dress, all of that.
I've never seen, and let me just lay this out here. I did serve under Hashim. No, I didn't see people borrowing other people's patches and stuff like that.
No, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. She ran the history down, Crip. She ran the history down, and she says that Malik Zulu Shabazz, he quit.
I'm not on that, brother. I'm not even on that. I understand that.
Brother. No. Understand. So if he quit, let's just be honest. That
doesn't have anything to do with my question, brother. That doesn't have anything to do with my question.
I'm about to give it to you. Brother, because I'm an honest type of brother. If he quit and then they move
I'm not talking about Malik because I understand that.
I want to finish, brother. If he quit and the Black Panther Party that he quit, they go on with elections and Sister Krystal Muhammad is elected. And now 2 days later, they come and say, we are the Black Panther Party and now install Hashim. One has to be bootleg. That's just fact. Now, maybe we want to smooth it over and say, well, this one is official and this one is not so official and make it sound pretty. But one is bootleg. That's all I'm saying. Now, with that
Well,
being,
you answered it better than she did then.
and
So
but
you,
hold up. Let me say this also, brother Crip. I love all my people. But let me see before we go.
Let me say this to Cryptonomics, because you're just being deceptive, brother. You being
no, I'm
black.
not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I didn't come on here to call names either. So.
I'm saying if you were with Hashim's formation, as you allege, then you should know that we existed. And if you didn't know we existed, what kind of work were you doing?
Nobody said they didn't know you existed.
Okay.
I know exactly who you are.
You're also being deceptive when you say, because I was very clear in a whole hour.
I'm here to ask a question. You mentioned something about the New Black Panthers beating up on somebody, and that wasn't clear.
That was clear. Okay, the Hashim formation, the formation that you were part of, beat up the original Panther, the Ruba.
Were you there?
Brother.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
Were you there?
No, you weren't. Yes, I was. I was standing post. I was standing post. Yes, I was.
So you were post when y'all beat up the Ruba? And
that ain't what happened. That's what you saying happened. That is not what happened. But you weren't there. You weren't there.
Hold up. Let's see this real quick before we move any further. Crypto. Listen.
Why would I do that? Why would I participate?
Okay, well, if you ain't there, you shouldn't be telling the story. Then that's my point.
Let's do this.
I'm a free person. We leverage.
You shouldn't tell the story because you wasn't there. You're not a person that was privy to it. That's what I'm saying, brother Taharka. That's why I came on here, was to ask certain questions.
Let me say this
because it's fabricated.
But it's not fabricated.
That is a fabrication if you weren't there, because you're getting secondhand knowledge. I was there.
Okay, let's stop for a second. Crypto.
Did it happen, brother? Did it happen?
Did somebody get beat up?
No. If she will allow me to tell the story, I'll tell the story exactly how it happened.
Did it? You know what? Do your own show about that.
Yeah. So let's do this.
She don't want to hear that. She don't want to hear that. That's all I had to say, bro. That's all. That's exactly what I wanted her to say. She don't want me to share that story.
Well, you responsible.
You know you welcome to come on the show and you can share your portion of the story.
You also let me on to ask questions. I haven't been able to ask you because she cut me off. She go off into another one.
If you were there, prove that you were there. I'm gonna tell you I was not there, but I know what happened. But I want you to prove that you were there. Who are you? You hiding behind this. You hide behind a pharaoh mask. Show your face. Prove it. Because I was the chairman when it happened. We had to deal with the repercussions of it. We wrote a letter in regard to it. We did an investigation. We talked to Daruba. We talked to Columbia.
You already said you wasn't there. You already said you wasn't there.
I said that we did an investigation on it as well.
I was there. It was a summit in Atlanta. Malik and Hashim held it. I was there. I don't have to prove I was there. I know I was there.
Prove it. Who are you? You hiding behind a white dot. Who are you?
You're deflecting. You're deflecting. You already answered my question that you wasn't there. Nobody got beat up. New Black Panthers are not like that, and you're defaming Hashim's formation with that type of rhetoric that you're throwing out there. That's not right.
Who are you?
And you doing it after he died. That's what's so low down about it.
This has been going on,
brother Crip.
It's been going on, but you coming out with it now. It's low down.
I was there to talk about
this. It wasn't a bootleg formation.
No disrespect to nobody. I want everybody to calm down for 1 second. 1 second. For one thing, I don't think it's fair that you're able to see Krystal Muhammad and she's not able to see you. That's one thing that's not fair. Now, second is your question is a legitimate question, and I think the question was answered. The first question. I don't know the second question because we've been going back and forth, but I don't want to spend all night with the back and forth of what happened, how we got beat up. And then we got to look at it like this from an administrative perspective. I'm a Grand Sheik of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Whether I am at my Atlanta temple or our Atlanta temple or not, if something goes down at the end of the day, I got to deal with the report and the repercussions of that. I have to filter through all things that happen with that situation, and I have to deal with it. And so whether sister, I mean, in her defense, and I really don't want to seem like I'm just coming to the sister's defense, but just because I'm a leader and I understand how these things work, that you don't necessarily have to be there to come to a conclusion of what happened, but from the evidence that's presented. So I don't think that's a fair thing to say that you were there, but her leadership has already concluded what happened. But with that being said, Crip, you should come on. We could do it another time, and we can have a discussion. But I think it's too emotional right now in order to really get to any real points, because Crip say I'm kind of taking her side. She's showing her face. You know what I mean? She's standing her ground. You literally hiding behind a dot, as she say, brother. So, I mean, this is a sister now. She ain't hiding her face. This is a sister. You know what I'm saying? So come on, brother. Let's keep it a buck. And then when I asked and said, would there be one? No, you good. You ain't got to have your webcam on, brother. But when I said, would there be one that would be bootleg? Like, and you have to admit, you couldn't even admit, like, well, okay, if that would be the definition of bootleg. You have to admit that. But let me say this, and I'm gonna open the mic back up. I want to share something with everybody real quick, if you don't mind. I mean, I want to share something with everybody real quick, if you don't mind. Pardon me for blocking you. I want to show a video real quick. Check this out.
But when you left a gap. And the people voted, and they voted someone in, and then all of a sudden some martial law and Hashim Zinga's in. But there were some statements made that I just want to be answered. Sean Qualley, who's the chief of staff under Hashim Zinga, he said that if Ahim Ali, and we got a copy of it, if Ahim Ali did not change sides, that he would not be dead. Now, Ahim Ali was more than just a comrade of mine. He was a comrade even in this formation, as well as in the new Black Panther Party. He was the National Minister of Information. Okay, he was also Legionnaire. He was the People's Chair Council. So to make a statement like that is very hostile. I'm hurt. I'm still hurt. That's why I'm here. And I'm in the spirit. All of us in the spirit that we're in. That's a hard statement to make. That if Ahim Ali, RBG, did not change sides, that he would be alive today. He was murdered in Miami. He was killed. Some of the brothers here was there with him. He was at the hospital. They gave him the clothes, what you shouldn't do in America, the morning assassination. And General Rashid was there back then. But the question I'm asking is that we're talking about unity. You can play some of the stuff up now, brother. But you declared martial law. I heard it, all of that. So what I'm saying is that the people did a vote and you declared martial law. So if you're here speaking amongst the audience, you should let them know about that too, because we could clear all of that up. Now, another problem that I got, and I'm going to let you respond to it now. Okay, the other problem that I have with the whole situation is a lot of the statements that came from Hashim Zinga when Sister Krystal Muhammad, Sean Qualley, when Sister Krystal Muhammad was running for presidency in the PGRNA, he wrote a letter to the PGRNA saying she was in bad standing, but she's not in no bad standing. The people voted her in. So the point that I'm making is that we're talking about unity and factionalism. When you step down, the people didn't vote. They voted Sister Krystal Muhammad in. Our brother Fahim wrote the Declaration of Independence. Okay, now here's the other thing. And read the Declaration of Independence, you came on the radio and said you declared martial law. That you declared martial law, and Hashim is in office. So we want you to respond to that, because we don't.
I'll stop that right there so we can get on with the show. So the thing is that it's actually public information, and he was actually addressed on it. And if you go back and watch that video, and I'll put the link so people can go see it later. If you go watch that video, unfortunately, he was unable to really give a definitive answer, you know what I'm saying, as to his position with Sister Krystal Muhammad being elected during the elective process. And so, I mean, since the thing is that I'm not the sister's attorney. What I do is when the sister come on the show, and anybody come on the show, I want to be able to have a conversation. And so what I do research. And I said in the beginning, is that what I said in the beginning? There's not a blemish there. And what I mean, I don't mean that the sister is perfect. I'm saying as it relates to her leadership and her word, it all matches up from what I could Google, not from what I know her personally, because of course I don't, but it just all matches up. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, Crip, if you want to come and have a conversation with the sister on a future date, we could actually set that up.
Well, brother Taharkabey, it's I don't know if you can hear me or not. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah. I don't want things to get out of hand. I just wanted to come on and ask a few questions. That's all I wanted to do. She answered 2 of them. The third one, is kind of up in the air, but nobody's really hiding. If I knew I needed a webcam, I'd have had a webcam, brother, before I even got on here. You know what I'm saying? So all these little punk people in here talking crazy like I'm hiding. No, I don't hide. I've been in the New Black Panther Party. I am not in there anymore. Respect to Krystal Muhammad. But at the same time, let me finish. But at the same time, I don't think that Pan-African people are doing bootleg work. I'm just here. I'm not here to defend Malik. I'm here to talk about Hashim's group. That's who I know. And whatever Malik did, that's between her and him. But as far as Hashim goes, rest his soul, brother did great work. He was a new Black Panther. He will always be a new Black Panther. And those up under him looked up to him, and he gave great guidance to them as well. So I don't want to hear anybody speaking down upon that formation, because I am going to speak up. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. That's what new Black Panthers do. We defend, and we defend all the people, and we definitely know what Hashim did. And even at his funeral, the people were there. Let me finish, please. Let me finish. I have limited time.
Sir,
and the people know what he did. They know what he stood for. Just like everybody knows what Krystal stands for. I don't have no issue with her. I wanted to answer a few questions because
the question
I needed some clarity.
Sir,
so she wants to no. I'm gonna sign off to her. You can say whatever she want to say. I'm not gonna get in the back and forth with her. Okay?
I spent the whole 1 hour explaining that formation and our formation were once one. I answered that. The first question that he answered, I answered that. The man, what type of device is he speaking on that he doesn't have a camera? Send a picture of yourself. Are you using a flip phone? You can still call from a flip phone and send a picture of yourself. I answered that question already. What I'm calling the question is, if you were there, who are you? If you were in the New Black Panther Party, who are you?
Right, my name is so-and-so. I was on this post, so.
Because,
your name ain't Cryptonomics.
Is he not an administrator? An administrator? He has some type of a bias, and I see the bias. Because I was on the last night, and my stuff kept getting muted. And I was wondering, but it's mighty funny. Cryptonomic stuff is rolling up and down, but he has a bias. Yeah. If you were in Hashim's formation, you've been aware of who I am. Perhaps that's why all of my screenshots were getting muted. I have a question for you. Were you the one muting me? Why are you hiding your face? If you have this perspective, for the record, we need to know who you are. It's not an attack. I would like to face who I'm talking to. Don't act like we're not intelligent. You are called into a live stream. You could send an image of who you are since you brought up that situation. But I'm done with that.
So sis, on some of the cases that y'all looking at right now, what do you have? You have up against that?
I sent you a couple of pictures by text a few minutes ago while your intro Cryptonomics. There are a number of cases that we're dealing with in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, that and Florida that we believe need more attention. They have been broadcasted on local news. There has been activism going on some of these cases, but on a national platform, there's not enough attention. Most definitely, some of these cases have been brought up on CNN and other national platforms, but as far as the black outlets, we don't want this stuff to get swept under the rug.
All right, so we got 2 cases here, or this one?
That's one I just sent you. That would be Brother Ronald Green, and I was trying to send you a picture of him. Ronald Green is one of the cases that we're dealing with down here in Louisiana, and
let me say this. Unfortunately, man, I can't have Cryptonomics being biased, because I was looking at the thing last night, and sis had she was giving positive statements, man, and they was being blocked, and I didn't know you had a beef with the sister. You know what I mean, I didn't know that, man. Come on, we can have difference of opinion, but you know, when we deal with truth, and if, like I said, if sis was voted in, and if sis was voted in, and then Malik said he quit, you know, at that point, ain't no coming back when you say you quit, unless you come back to the original regime that you left. I mean, that's just simple math. Has nothing against Malik. Maybe people don't want to know that. Maybe people don't want you to know that. Nobody blocked her yesterday, but her messages was being deleted. Like, you don't have to block a person to delete. Somebody said it didn't block her, but her message was deleted. And she was, but nevertheless, let's keep it moving, man. I just want to be fair. But I mean, I'm gonna be as fair as I can till I see something out of order. You know, I see something out of order, I'm gonna just go hard. You know, it is what it is. With that being said, I lose a lot of friends over truth. I do it all the time. But with that being said, here is 1 second. I think it's right here.
Yeah, so the case that the image that Brother Bay is about, see, that's a car that go back a little bit, that relates. You see this vehicle right here? That's the vehicle that Ronald Green was killed in Louisiana, and they said he died in a car wreck. He was killed because of a car wreck. This is the vehicle. He was the driver. You see, it's a little fender bender. Now go and show the images of Ronald Green. This is the case that's being covered up, and it's being covered up. There's video to show they beat this man to death. There's body camera. There's audio in which they calling him a nigger. There's a video that they're trying to hide in which they beat him with a flashlight. Who is they? The police, the Louisiana State Troopers. They beat him to death with a flashlight. They handcuffed him, drug him. He was tortured. And they said that he died from a car wreck, from that car that you just showed. The state, this is one of the reasons why we were demonstrating in Lafayette when NFAC came down. We were already in the streets demonstrating about Ronald Green case. See those gashes in his head? That's from the flashlight. They beat him with the flashlight. You're not going to get that from no car wreck, especially on the passenger side and you as the driver. They beat this brother to death. The Louisiana State Troopers. And when we kept pushing, we went to the governor's mansion. And the Cajun militia showed up and leveled rifles at us at the governor's mansion. This is after the Kenosha deal. This is why we were so adamant about protecting our people in Lafayette. When Trump boy and them came down grandstanding. This is the type of wickedness we're dealing with in Louisiana. The officer, one of the police officers, killed himself when the video came out. And the governor and the other elected officials have been trying to keep it under hush until after this election. Ronald Green was beat to death over 19 months ago. This is one of the cases we're dealing with. We're dealing with the case of Trafford Pellerin, who was shot in the back 10 times in Lafayette. We are still fighting for justice for Alton Sterling.
And what is this? What's the brother name you just said?
Trafford Pellerin.
No, the one that was in the car. They claimed the car accident.
Ronald Green.
Ronald Green?
Ronald Green.
I just want to put the link up in there. Okay, go ahead, sis.
Trafford Pellerin was gunned down in the back around the same time that Jacob Blake was brutalized. Trafford Pellerin was shot in the back 10 times while retreating from the police. He tried to run into the store. They shot him 10 times in the back. They claim he had a knife, but even if he did have a knife, he was running from you. They never found the knife. He was shot in the back 10 times. This is the case that we were organizing with the community with in Lafayette when the NFAC, these two cases. We have long, since 2016, continued to fight for justice for Alton Sterling, who was gunned down by the police. It's no way, as true freedom fighters, would we ever walk side by side and work with the police in any shape, form, or fashion when they are the perpetrators of these crimes against humanity, against our people. When we have been dealing with countless cases of police brutality, we work for demand justice for Sandra Bland. We were the ones in the trenches demanding justice for Pam. That's Ronald. That's how he looked. That's Ronald Green. See how he looked? That's Ronald Green. But when they beat him to death, they killed this man. These were the issues when we were dealing with and are dealing with. This is the work we're putting in and going to continue to fight for justice for against police brutality, ethnic cleansing, and genocide. You could not say somebody raped your child and then you walk holding hands into the courtroom with the raper of your child or the family of the raper of your child and not be seen as a sellout amongst the total planet Earth. We are dealing with very hostile environment across America. We had no idea of the level of deceit that this United States government has been operating to assimilate a group that looks revolutionary and is tugging at the hearts of the revolutionary fire burning in people and turn around and have it being puppeteered and dictated by the police. That is counter-revolutionary. We won't stand for it. Now, we have been dealing with a series of lynchings in Mississippi that have not gotten national attention. They've gotten some international attention. We were featured in a film called What Are You Gonna Do When the World's on Fire? And we allowed these filmmakers to follow us in 2017, to document some of these cases that the national media has been sweeping under the rug. Otis Berg was lynched, hung from a tree in 2015 in Port Gibson, Mississippi. He was hung from a tree in the backyard of the white family, of which he spent 26 years in prison for allegedly killing their daughter, and he always said he was innocent. He had his own home that he lived in. And he was found hanging 15 feet in the air. I'm going to send you those pictures of Otis Berg. I'm going to send you these pictures of Otis Berg hanging in a tree in the backyard of the white family that after 26 years He had only been home 2 years. So he was found hanging in the backyard of the family in 2015 in Port Gibson, Mississippi. In 2016, was that 2017, 2 years later, in Jackson, Mississippi, Philip Carroll was found hanging in his backyard after getting into an argument and fight with his white girlfriend. He was found hanging in his own backyard. We came down to investigate that case while simultaneously heading to Newark, New Jersey to fight for justice for our Field Marshal Sharif Ahmed Hotep, who was kidnapped at the time by the state on false charges. By the time we left doing the first ground investigation of Philip Carroll, Jeremy Jackson was decapitated in Jackson, Mississippi. His head left on the porch and his body set on fire. That's Otisburg right there, found hanging from a tree in the backyard. I'm going to send you these pictures. These are the type of issues that we've been dealing with. Otisburg was found hanging from a tree, 15 feet in the air with a bag on his head. With a bag on his head. Tied to a tree. I mean, with a rope with his hands tied. Let me send you these pictures. 15 feet in the air. Just it. Let me send you these pictures, Brother Taharkabey. I was supposed to send these already. I do apologize. That's Otisburg.
And so none of this has been addressed.
There's a whiteout going on in mainstream media. They've been addressed locally. It's been addressed.
No, I see that it made news, but I'm just saying it didn't make news to the point where as though our community, we rather watch Cardi B, I would imagine.
That's the whole point of the whiteout. You know, we found out after we were dealing with the Otisburg, Philip Carroll, Jeremy Jackson, and then Jeremy Jackson was murdered in 2017. He was decapitated in Jackson, Mississippi, the capital of Mississippi, and his body was set on fire down the street. The Klan has been terrorizing those folks down there in Mississippi. And then in 2018, Willie Jones Jr. was hung in the front yard of the Crackers family, in which he had a child from the white girl who was allegedly got into it with her. They hung him in the front yard. They came in and said it was a suicide. All these cases were declared suicides, by the way. And we found out that part of the whiteout is a collaboration between so-called black elected and the whites to rebrand the image of Mississippi because they're trying to bring in a national football team in now. A national, a national sports team in now. And the writing is on the wall now because see now Neon Dion is down there at Jackson State. It's called a media whiteout. A whiteout is done. They did the media whiteouts. The term came from in the 60s when there would be sit-ins, and if the newspapers broadcasted the sit-ins, then it would duplicate and more people would come. So they wouldn't broadcast it because they wanted it to fizzle out and die out. You know. So a lot of these cases, even right now, I can go year after year about all these cases. But we go from one case to another case to another case to another case, and there's hardly ever any resolution.
Well, you know what, sis? I think what we got to do is we got to come back here, just like you sent me them footage. Let's grab 4 cases, and let's highlight them cases when we can come back next week, and let's highlight them cases because even those I need to even catch up on that. You know, sometimes we get caught up into our own world, and it's a shame that. You know, when you look at something like the NFAC and all of those minds, which I still have confident faith and understanding that all of their minds are manipulated for for the wrong thing. But if we could galvanize that type of energy, you know, for the right thing, we can solve some of this stuff overnight.
Well, sir.
Like we galvanizing energy and misusing the energy, calling the police for barricades, getting on a mic talking as if we I'm not saying we but talking to Grandmaster Jay talking as if it's a rap concert or some little I have a dream speech, and right there in the same neighborhood you got a guy beat to death with a flashlight.
Right. Well, this is that's why I keep going back to these are operations of the state. The state is trying to keep us in a perpetual trauma. And the state is also trying to squash out, snuff out, marginalize any true collaborations of resistance. And, you know, whatever we can do collectively, whatever we can do that's for the best interest of our people is what we focus our energy on. This is the reason why, you know, to be honest, we didn't, even though we've had these internal things going on, we didn't bother about, you know, we dealt with them as if, you know, like, yeah, it's going on, we'll deal with it, we deal with it as it's going on, but we've been focusing on these bigger issues, these bigger cases, our true open enemy. But see, the enemy is evolving now. They're trying to prop up puppet leaders. You see, I sent you a link. I can't even fly without them sending a whole force. Whenever I fly, when I was heading to London, in fact, as soon as we came back from South Africa, Brother Sharif and I in 2014, we was before I could take my foot off the plane, they had the U.S. Customs and Homeland Security standing there to escort us and looking through every item, every iota of what we had. When I do try to fly, I have to go to the airport 4 hours early. I had my passport confiscated from me in Canada when I was asked to come and speak in London because of the type of work we are doing. The enemy takes us very seriously. This is why they're trying to put together a puppet regime that looks revolutionary, but is in fact counter-revolutionary. And I will repeat that over and over because this is what is going on. There is people who are trying to take the energy because the spirit of revolution is very high amongst our people right now. The spirit of resistance is very high. Even these elected officials are taking that energy and going to get themselves in office. But what are they going to truly do for the people? Except what we demand of them. It is the season right now. I think it's the reason that we are linked up with you. I believe.
I see it too, sis. Hey, sis, I see it too because all the people that I know that do podcasts and YouTube, and they scared to touch stuff like this. It ain't gonna look good for their little following and makeshift conscious videos. See, this is raw. You know, this is raw. You know, and our brothers and sisters, unfortunately, we don't want to look at reality for what it is. You know, we rather look at the show. You know, the show is you got all of these people dressed in black and they got guns, but all of these guns, and you got somebody hanging in a tree in the same place where you got barricades around with police giving you the go sign. Is you know what I mean? They should be ran out any town. It should be ran out of any town. That's just what it is, you know. But yes,
I forgot. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Forgive me, family. In Florida, just recently, a young brother, Nevin Baker, was lynched in Florida. Neville Baker. We sent our team down and he was hung in right outside of Orlando. just a couple of weeks ago. In fact, it was the day after Trump did that statement, stand down, stand up. See, these lynchings have been escalating. And because we've been so divided, but it's all coming together. Because I'm gonna tell you, Brother Bay, it's been a few people asking me to come do the interview. I ain't had time. You know, we got some enterprises going on, and I wanted to keep my word to you. And we gonna work. We working on doing a podcast. I'm like, oh man, they gonna make me do it. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta do it. This is where we at now. Listen,
yes, sir.
This is where we at. All the big rappers that was getting millions of dollars performing, all of them got podcasts now. This is where we at.
You done motivated us, big brother.
This is where we at. Yeah, and I'll be right there with you to support you.
We've been talking about it for a minute, but I'm telling you, we've just been going. That's the trip part about it. We've been growing. In the meantime, we're recruiting and training. We're duplicating ourselves. We keep getting cases after cases. I wanted to talk about Pamela Turner case. I wanted to talk about, that case is still ongoing. Alton Sterling. The state has a vendetta against, some of these strong formations. And I got to give it up to these young people, bro. These young people have been standing up. We can't let their energy be misused and misdirected. That's why I make sure that I surround and we keep mentoring these young brothers and sisters. The new Black Panther Party has a lot of work to do. But even when I was in the nation, we learned about the Moors.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Prophet, the Noble Jew Ali. Being a freedom fighter, doing political education, we learned about Marcus Garvey. This is the Black Panther Party. This is not no joke. We take it very serious. That's why I'm careful with my words. I do not want to come across as being divisive, but I must tell the truth. Because
that's a hard beat. Since I go through it all the time. I'm telling you, people may think that I just do this with the conversation about Grandmaster Jay, but I'm known to go against the grain just to tell the truth. It is what it is.
That's right. That's right. And what else you want to know, Brother Taharka? I mean,
I want to stop right there so we can pick up next. I want you to grab 4 of them stories as you was running them stories down, and them pictures they spoke volumes. I mean, I was looking at the comments. Everybody was like, so I really wanted the next. I think everything is laid out now. I think now it's time to talk about what missions that you in the team is on, what has been resolved. Have y'all brought resolution to some cases in the past, and what has happened? I think we need to go right there. And as we move into that area, you start your podcast and boom, you break off and bring everybody from Moorish World TV and everybody from your radio show right onto your podcast and keep building what's been built.
We want to invite you on, brother, to the radio show. Also to our podcast. We want to invite you on as soon as you're available. We gotta build this network. Again, brother.
Absolutely.
You Brother Sadiq, what you say?
Look, man, look. To the brothers and sisters listening, one thing that we always do is we always take time out to give thanks to the Almighty God Creator. All praises due. To give thanks to our great, honorable ancestors. There were so many great ancestors mentioned, and we were playing one of our greatest ancestors, Dr. Amos Wilson, on our broadcast tonight as he gave his lecture, The Blueprint for Black Power. So I shared Black Power and all of that good stuff, right? But, to the brothers and sisters who may not clearly understand what tonight's conversation was about, I would ask you to look at the American government. The American government was founded by white people who were criminals out of the United Kingdom, out of Ireland, out of Scotland, out of what would then be called Poland, out of what would then be called Europe in general. And they broke free from the crown of the United Kingdom. But it wasn't the United Kingdom then. But they broke free from the crown of England. That's the story they tell, but we know it runs deeper, right? But that's the basic surface story before you get all up into the in-betweens, okay? Now, the nation called America today operates as a free and independent nation from England, but they still owe England money. They operate free and independent from Rome, but they still kiss the Pope's nasty feet. You see, so you have to look at where you live. Look at the divisive nature of America. It has taught our people division. And when you look at the work of any revolutionary organization around the world, you can look at the Mau Jomo Kenyatta in Kenya in the 1950s. You can look at the revolution of FARC in South America, who still live in the jungles today and fight against the South American regimes. Y'all better recognize. You can look at Lenin. You can look at Stalin. You can look at how in China, when Mao Zedong was revolutionary leader in China, they had two organizations. One of them split, and the youth would wear a red band on their shirts to signify that they had separated from the elders who were more secular and more traditional Chinese. The youth wanted a Western Chinese. You will find that Hong Kong broke away from China. You will find that the islands in the South China Sea do not belong to South China. So America and Korea and all these Asian countries fight. You cannot go anywhere on any revolutionary scale and not find a time where there was disgruntled, arrogance, egotistical, maniac behavior. It is what it is. There's a saying that goes, when you talk about crazy people, you sound a little crazy. When you talk about the devil, you sound a little demonic. So, of course, if we're talking about truth, that is proof, that is fact, that has been proven through documentation, through work, through video. I mean, if we can bring you the videos, the brother put up videos. If we can bring you the documentation, we have documented the fact that Salamoni officer, so-called Officer Salamoni and so-called Officer Lake II murder Alton Sterling. They had it on their own body cameras. They shot our brother down in the street. We have documented proof of them cutting off Jeremy Jackson's head, and it's on the goddamn front porch of children finding in Jackson, Mississippi. There's documented proof of them shooting down Trayford Pellerin in the back 10 times, and documented proof of our being under the captivity of the American corporation. The truth is the truth. It is not going to sound pretty. I'm going to end with this. I'm going to say this. The most honorable, one of our greatest ancestors, Brother Malcolm X, Brother Minister Malcolm X, El Hajj Malik Shabazz, Brother Omawale. He said that what we say tonight may sound bitter, but it's the truth. He says a lot of what we say tonight may sound harsh, but it's the truth. He says you can chase the enemy down the street with the truth. You don't even need a pocket knife. But in today, we believe you don't bring no gun to a knife to a gunfight any goddamn way. So we take our truth, we take our proof, we got our God, we got our gun, and we gonna continue to kick the white man's ass all the way back to the caves and hills of Europe until we have our black nation. Black power. That's right. That's how it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's
what I'm talking about.
Hey, he gonna get one of them. He get one of them Taharkabey's. Good goodness gracious.
Come on, man. What's going on, man? We ain't no low work. This is how we steer our youth. This is how we steer our youth. This is how we supposed to steer our youth. What you did the other day with Delta, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to teach them the right way. We're supposed to stand up against wickedness even when they look like us. The white man easy to take care of. We got a lot of work to do, and we doing the work.
Indeed.
And look,
Indeed.
It's a beautiful time. It's a very beautiful time. And we ain't, man, look, when you ain't got nothing to hide, when you standing on the truth, I love it. See, it's the scandalous ones that got to hide. When, let me ask you something, Brother Taharka, to the listeners. When have the white man came on television and endorsed any black organization?
Never.
Black liberation.
Never.
So CNN brings on this man, GMJ, and the white man says they're a good group. They work with the police.
That's what he said.
And the Southern Poverty Law Center call us racist. They call the nation racist. They talk about any black. Come on, we're not racist.
And you know, Grandmaster Jay made a statement as that was a proud thing. We're not on the Southern Poverty Law website. We're not there because we're like that. I mean, for what you said out of your mouth, come on, you what do you call them? Edomite. Come on, before we kill you, before you die.
Man,
but
the cops ready to kill him, invited him to dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know who you was.
So yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke. You know what I mean? It's a joke. But with that being said, sis, I hope we can make time for next week to hit some of them cases, because some of them cases are very, very powerful. Very powerful. And the public need to know about it. Tonight we have let me see, we probably have over 1,000 people that have watched and probably going to come back and finish watching. And you know, by next week it's going to be up to about 8, 9, 10,000. We need those 8, 9, 10,000. And then 6 months from now, 20,000. We need them to see what is going on right under our noses, because a lot of this stuff we don't even know about.
That's right. We are at NBPP. I forgot to put our website up. We NBPP.org. www.org. NBPP.org. NBPP, New Black Panther Party, NBPP.org.
All right.
If anyone wants to get more information, wants to get involved with the party, we would love to have you on. We thank you, Brother Taharka, for bringing us on this program. We thank you for the good work that you are doing. We look forward to working with you movement-wise and business-wise. Now, don't get it twisted.
Absolutely. I'm ready. I'm ready. And one thing, brother Sadiq, you need to send me some of your talks or something, brother. Boy, you
party radio, brother.
Nah, man, I need to grab something and put it at the beginning of one of my intros or something.
Brother.
Oh, come on, brother Taharka. Come on, brother.
Man, I tell you, that's that Khalid Muhammad spirit right there.
You know, recycle, brother. It's gotta be fresh.
Man, let me tell you something. I see a lot of good things post-COVID coming for the new Black Panther Party under the leadership of the chairperson, Sister Krystal Muhammad. And with you right there, I see a lot of nice things about to happen. Because as Sister Krystal Muhammad said, you know, the revolutionary spirit is alive and well. You know, it's alive and well right now. And they're trying to redirect it to this fake, phony stuff that'll never get us free. It won't even scratch the surface. So I'm looking forward to what's to come for us all. You know what I mean? And I look forward to working with y'all and moving forward on something big. I'm looking forward to it.
That's right, brother.
Peace and love, family.
Peace and love, brother. Hold on, wait a minute. Come on. Peace and love, brother. What's the Moorish symbol? What the Moors say?
That's right. That's right. That's right. So I love y'all, and I see y'all next time. I'm gonna be in touch so we can set up another one. Like I said, we get 4 cases, and we're gonna run through them at night. All right.
Right on.
All right. Peace and love. That was a beautiful interview, family. Where's Delta at? Anybody seen Delta? Anybody seen Brother Delta before I go? I see Sister Celia Fit was in there. Where's Brother Delta at? Delta, where you at? Say hi to the people. I know you out there somewhere. Sister Krystal Muhammad gave you a shout out. You know, I give you a shout out. Where you at? Come on, where you at? With that being said, family, I'm gonna see if I can bring Brother Delta back maybe this weekend or something. See how he's doing, checking in on him. You know what I mean? I think we need to check in on Brother Delta, make sure he all right. And that's just what it is, you know. Would y'all be interested in that? Come on, man. Come on, we rocking with Delta. Huh? We rocking with the regime. Huh? Come on. That's right. That's right. We rocking with the regime. That's what it is. Absolutely, family. Absolutely. So with that being said, I'm gonna be reaching out to Brother Delta, and seeing if we can get him on the show and do a follow-up with him, see how he's doing and all of that, family. And I want everybody to put their energy together, put their prayers together for our brother Delta, and his family, NFAR Celia Fit. You know, that's just what it is, family. I believe, family, I'm telling you, man, I come from a place and where I'm at today, I never thought that I would be here. I'm trying to tell you, I'm just talking about just talking to you right now, even the state of mind that I'm in. I never thought I would be here, you know, but I'm here. And so because I'm here, we all should pray for our brothers and sisters, that, you know, that we can arrive to our greater self, to our God self, you know. And I see that in my brother Delta. Like I said, when I did that research on the brother, man, I just was blown away at what I found of how the brother had such love for fitness, and he had mastered being a personal trainer and fitness and working out. Like, he's just a master. Some of us are masters of some things. Some of us claim to be master of some things, but the evidence would show that the brother just was a master, and I don't think he lost it. I feel he still is. I think that's his lane. You know, I work out, but I ain't doing no Delta stuff. Shoot, somebody said that brother is a machine when it comes to working out. I ain't gonna stop saying it. And so I support that. With that being said, peace and love, family. I see you on the next go around. Let's not forget Saturday, 9 p.m. We're going to be talking about these houses, how inexpensive they are, what it takes to build them up, what it takes to flip them, how we can put a team together and get something done within 12 to 18 months. That's right. We want a deadline, 12 to 18 months. Let me not use the term dead. We want a live line, 12 to 18 months. As we put our team together, take a month to put the team together, you know, 12 to 18 months, something ready to be utilized, flipped, sold, or whatever. That's just what it is. Peace and love, family. I appreciate you. I love you. I see you on the next go around. Peace to my brother Cryptonomics, for having, we say in the Moorish tip of America, having courage enough for truth. And so, hey, it touched his heart. That's why I put the wrench back. It touched his heart. He wanted to say something, and he said it, you know, and hopefully that we can all move on to greater and bigger and better things. You know, I apologize for if I appear to be one-sided, because I'm really not. I really am a supporter of Sister Krystal Muhammad, because she's a thoroughbred in my book, you know. And but I also support a brother like Cryptonomics, who is passionate about his position. Why do I support that? Because I'm also one who's passionate about my position. And I just hope that we can all work together. I would like to see a brother like Cryptonomics reach out to Sister Krystal Muhammad, and they maybe get together. Because if he was with Hashim, man, we need younger brothers. I'm telling you, young brothers will be joining the new Black Panther Parties. We need older, mature We need older, as he said, maturity is required in this work. We need older, mature brothers and sisters to guide this new generation. Sister Krystal Muhammad can't walk this movement into the sunset. She need to be able to be comfortable to set aside, and let brothers like Sadiq got to be comfortable and be able to set aside, get aside, and let the next generation come through. But they only gonna come through sharp if we are able to set aside our differences and raise them up. To take our place. Because if we're genuine, we're going to raise people to be genuine. If we fake and phony and soft and don't be passionate about what we believe in, then guess what? That's what we're going to raise. So salute to everybody, Cryptonomics, and my guest tonight, because we're all passionate about the truth. Whether it's the truth from my side of the mountain or whether it's the truth from Cryptonomics side of the mountain. Passion, laced with truth will get us there. With that being said, peace and love, family. See y'all on the other side. Salute. All honor in the words of Delta. Peace and love.